What's up YouTube? Here are 5 mistakes that people make when learning a new language and some tips for beginners how to sort out those mistakes because they're dumb. Mistake 1, not enough input. What is input? Input is just listening to and reading stuff. So listening to songs, watching cartoons, watching YouTube videos, etc. Absorbing new language. So you need more input. How much input? I would recommend for beginners, you have to immerse yourself in at least 3 hours of that foreign language per week. Think about if you're living in a foreign country, how much you're hearing and listening to all the time. You have to recreate that at home when you're not in the foreign country. So if you're studying Spanish but you don't live in Spain or South America, you have to actually be listening to or reading stuff in the Spanish language for at least 3 hours a week. Mistake number 2, studying grammar. Studying grammar is a complete waste of time, unless you are already fluent in that language and you're fine-tuning very small details. I wouldn't recommend studying grammar to a beginner or an intermediate learner or even an advanced learner. Studying grammar is for very, very, very advanced learners. Otherwise, don't waste your time. Basically, the entire linguistic community worldwide is in agreement now that studying grammar in a foreign language does not help you speak that foreign language. It is not useful if that is your goal. If your goal is to learn about grammar, cool, good for you. If your goal is to speak a foreign language, don't study grammar. It's not helping you whatsoever. This is a really good video, I'll put a link in the description. In this video you will find world leader experts explaining why learning grammar does not work if your goal is to be able to speak the foreign language. An explanation would be too long to put into this video, so either check that out or trust me, learning grammar is not worth your time. Mistake number 3, quitting. This seems like a silly one to put in. Of course, quitting is not a good idea if you're trying to achieve anything, but it's worth bearing in mind that learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. Don't be one of those people who spends 2 weeks practicing a language and then they can't speak it fluently after 2 weeks and they go, oh, I must be really bad at languages. No, you're not bad at languages, it just takes more than 2 weeks. Mistake number 4, using Duolingo or other robot apps as I call them. It's not a good idea to be speaking to robots because the responses you get back are also robotic. There's no variation and it's basically rote learning. It's memorizing set phrases and repeating them. What you want to do is speak to real people. So I recommend HelloTalk, Speaky, or if you want a paid tutor, you can go to italki, that's the best website for that. Or you can talk to real life people. If you want to speak Spanish, get online and find someone who lives in Ecuador or Argentina or Spain and actually have a conversation with them. Don't talk to robots. Using Duolingo and these other robotic apps are not a complete waste of time. They may help you a little bit, but if that's the only thing you're doing, then you will struggle. And personally, I much prefer speaking to humans anyway. Humans can do something that robots can't. They can correct you, they can give you feedback, they can say this thing that you said that was wrong, you should say it this way. And mistake number 5, this is a huge one, doing things which are at the wrong level. What does that mean? If you are a beginner, you shouldn't be watching a whole movie. That's too difficult for you. And if you are an advanced speaker, you shouldn't be watching children's cartoons. That's too easy for you. You need to do something at the right difficulty level for you. If you're not sure what your level is, there are plenty of online tests. Just look up online Spanish test or online Arabic level tests to find out your level, whatever your language is. But if you have absolutely no idea what your level is, I'd say you're probably some sort of beginner and you're looking at relatively easy resources like children's cartoons, children's stories on YouTube. Don't try and read The Lord of the Rings in Spanish if you're not ready. Because what happens when you try to do things which are too difficult for you? Well, you get bored and then you quit. A good rule of thumb for me is if I'm doing something and I find that I'm getting really bored, it's probably too difficult for me. If I'm doing something at the right level, then I feel good about myself because I'm like, yeah, I can understand that and I can understand that. I didn't understand that, but then I figured it out and then I understood it. Whereas when you're doing something way too difficult for you, you're always like, oh, I didn't understand that, and I didn't understand that, and I didn't understand that. It's demoralizing, it's boring, and it makes you quit. That's it for today, guys. If you have any language questions, put them in the comments below and I will answer them in future videos. Ask me anything. My brain is at your disposal. Please like and subscribe and all of that stuff.